Welcome to Apex Atlas. Tonight, we journey to the northern reaches of the British Isles. To a land of rugged peaks, deep blue lochs, and a history etched in stone. Whether you are here to learn or to find rest, let the story of Scotland unfold around you. There is a wild beauty to Scotland that stays with you long after you've left, a country where mountains meet mist, lochs mirror the sky, and legends breathe through the heathered hills. This is a land that feels ancient and alive, where every ruin, every glen, and every winding road holds a story waiting to be told. From the cobbled closes of Edinburgh, crowned by its mighty castle, to the cultural heartbeat of Glasgow, filled with art, laughter, and music, Scotland is a country of striking contrasts. Journey north to the Highlands, and you'll find vast open landscapes where silence speaks louder than words. Here, time slows, and nature takes over. Wind across moors, eagles above lochs, and castles standing proud against centuries of change. The islands, too, tell their own tales. The Hebrides, wild and poetic, whisper songs of the sea, while Skye and Orkney guard ancient secrets beneath skies that dance with the northern lights. It's easy to understand why Scotland has inspired poets, explorers, and dreamers for centuries. But beyond the beauty lies the heart of Scotland, its people. Warm, witty, and fiercely proud, the Scots carry their heritage in every conversation, every toast, every ceilidh. Their welcome is genuine, their humor dry, and their stories endless. Scotland isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to feel. A place that invites you to hike through rain and shine, to raise a glass by the fire, to stand still beneath vast skies and breathe it all in. Geography and nature. Locations and borders. Scotland sits at the northern edge of Great Britain, where rugged landscapes rise from the soft rolling borders and stretch toward the wild Atlantic and icy North Sea. It's a land both defined and liberated by its geography, shaped by nature, sculpted by history, and fiercely proud of its boundaries, both real and symbolic. To the south, Scotland shares its only land border with England, a winding 154-kilometer stretch that crosses green hills, rivers, and historic battlegrounds. Though peaceful today, it was once a frontier of power and identity, a line that forged stories of courage, rebellion, and independence still told around Scottish hearts. To the west lies the Atlantic Ocean, vast and untamed, scattering Scotland's islands like jewels cast upon the sea. The inner and outer Hebrides, including Skye, Lewis, and Harris, are worlds unto themselves, where Gaelic still drifts on the wind, and cliffs plunge into foaming waves. Further north, the Orkney and Shetland Islands sit closer to Norway than to London, carrying traces of Viking heritage and northern light. The North Sea borders Scotland's east coast, its waters alive with fishing boats and oil rigs, while the firths of Forth, Clyde, and Murray carve deep into the land, forming natural harbors where cities and communities have thrived for centuries. Within Scotland's own borders, the land divides into three broad regions: the lowlands, fertile and home to cities and farmlands; the highlands, dramatic and sparsely populated; and the islands, each a universe of its own. This natural diversity has shaped not just the country's geography, but its culture, dialects, and spirit. From its southern pastures to its northern cliffs, Scotland feels both connected and remote, a proud corner of the world where the edges meet eternity. Landscapes and regions. Scotland is a land of striking contrasts, a place where every horizon tells a story. Its landscapes are not just scenic, they are soulful, layered with myth and memory. From the gentle pastures of the lowlands to the fierce peaks of the highlands and the misty solitude of the islands, the country unfolds like a living poem, each region adding its own verse. The lowlands, stretching from the English border to the central belt, are the heart of Scotland's daily life, green, fertile, and full of character. Here lie the great cities of Edinburgh and Glasgow, where history and modernity meet in a dance of architecture and energy. Rolling hills cradle historic abbeys, and the countryside hums with farms, forests, and hidden glens where rivers wind quietly through the earth. To the north, the land rises into the Highlands, where Scotland's soul seems to dwell. This is a realm of heather and mist, of lochs that shimmer like mirrors, and mountains that pierce the clouds. The Cairngorms National Park, with its pine forests and wildlife, feels almost otherworldly, while Glen Coe, carved by ice and legend, stands as one of the most hauntingly beautiful valleys in the world. Every Highland road feels like a passage through both time and story. Then there are the islands, scattered jewels of land where the sea shapes every life. The Hebrides are wild and lyrical, their beaches blindingly white against turquoise seas. Skye, with its jagged Quillan mountains and fairy pools, looks like something dreamt rather than built by nature. Further north, Orkney and Shetland hold echoes of the Vikings, where standing stones and ancient settlements meet seabirds and salt air. Each region of Scotland has its own pulse, yet together they form a single heartbeat, steady, ancient, and full of wonder. Climate and seasons. Scotland's weather is as much a part of its personality as its castles and lochs. It's unpredictable, dramatic, and endlessly expressive, a shifting theatre of light and shadow that can change a landscape in moments. One minute, the sky glows gold over a mirror-still loch. The next, mist curls over the hills, softening every edge into mystery. The climate is classically temperate and maritime, shaped by the surrounding seas and the North Atlantic Drift, which brings a surprising mildness to its latitude. Winters are rarely severe, though snow often dusts the highlands in white, turning them into a world fit for myths. Summers are long in daylight, gentle in warmth, and rich in color. The heather blooms, the hills glow emerald, and twilight lingers like a whispered secret. Spring arrives quietly but with promise, painting the land in daffodils and birdsong. By April and May, the air feels crisp and clean, and it's one of the best times to explore without the summer crowds. Autumn brings a blaze of amber across the forests of Perthshire and the glens of the Highlands, a photographer's dream and a walker's delight. Rain is part of the story, sometimes a drizzle, sometimes a downpour, but in Scotland, rain is life. It feeds the rivers, greens the hills, and gives the country its ethereal beauty. Locals will tell you there's no bad weather, only the wrong clothes, and they're right. Pack a jacket, keep your sense of adventure, and you'll find beauty in every drop. And then there is the light, that soft, shifting northern glow that makes every scene look like a painting. At midsummer, the sun barely sets in the far north, while in winter, the darkness feels deep and quiet, perfect for fireside whiskey and starlit skies. Wildlife and biodiversity. Scotland's wild places hum with life, not the loud bustle of cities, but the quiet, timeless pulse of nature. From soaring eagles to red deer grazing on misty hillsides, this is a land where the wild still feels close enough to touch. Its forests, moors, lochs, and islands hold some of the richest biodiversity in Europe, a living reminder that nature here is both resilient and sacred. In the Highlands, red deer move like shadows through the glens, their antlers rising above the heather. On still mornings, you might hear their distant call echoing across the valley, ancient, haunting, and beautiful. High above, the golden eagle circles effortlessly, master of the skies, while the rare Scottish wildcat, elusive and fierce, prowls through the forests unseen. The Cairngorms National Park, the largest in the UK, is a sanctuary of diversity, home to mountain hares that turn white in winter, ospreys that nest beside lochs, and red squirrels that dart through ancient pine woods. In the Outer Hebrides, Macaire meadows burst into bloom each summer, carpeted in wildflowers that attract bees, butterflies, and rare corncrakes whose song drifts across the dunes. Scotland's coastline teems with life. Seals bask on rocky shores, otters slip silently through kelp forests, and puffins nest on sea cliffs like tiny, painted sentinels. In deeper waters, dolphins dance beside ferries, and on rare, lucky days, you might glimpse a minke whale or even an orca cutting through the waves. Even its forests and bogs tell a story, one of rewilding, regeneration, and hope. Across the Highlands, native trees are being replanted, restoring the ancient Caledonian forest, once vast and full of life. The return of species like the beaver and white-tailed eagle marks a quiet but powerful renewal of balance between people and the wild. In Scotland, nature doesn't just surround you, it speaks to you. You only need to listen. Natural wonders. Scotland is a land sculpted by nature's imagination, a place where mountains rise like myths, waterfalls tumble through forests, and the sea carves beauty from every edge. Its natural wonders aren't confined to postcards, they live and breathe in the air, the water, and the ancient rocks beneath your feet. To travel here is to walk through the Earth's own storybook. In the west, Glen stands as a masterpiece of wild grandeur, a valley carved by glacier and steeped in legend. Its peaks rise like sentinels from the mist, their slopes cloaked in heather and history. On a still day, the air feels thick with memory. On a stormy one, the glen roars with raw power. The Isle of Skye is a realm of wonder all its own. The jagged Quillen Mountains pierce the clouds, while the otherworldly fairy pools shimmer in shades of blue and green, cascading over black volcanic rock. Every turn of the road reveals a new marvel, from the basalt pillars of the Old Man of Storr to the windswept cliffs of Naste Point, where the sea stretches endlessly into the horizon. Further north, the Cairngorms form the heart of Scotland's wilderness, a vast expanse of mountains, moors, and pine forests alive with deer, eagles, and ancient winds. Here, rivers sparkle beneath bridges of stone, and lochs lie still as mirrors beneath a sky that never seems to end. Along the coast, nature takes on another form. The Quiraing on Skye seems sculpted by giants, Smoo Cave in Durness echoes with underground waterfalls, and on Staffa Island, the perfectly formed basalt columns of Fingal's Cave inspired Mendelssohn's music and countless imaginations since. And then there's the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, that sometimes grace Scotland's far north with their ghostly green shimmer. To witness them over the waters of Orkney or Shetland is to feel the world pause for breath. In Scotland, every loch, peak, and forest feels enchanted, a living reminder that the greatest wonders are the ones that need no explanation. National Parks and Reserves. Scotland's national parks and nature reserves are more than protected spaces, they are living landscapes where wild beauty and human heritage coexist. Here, nature still commands respect, and each forest, loch, and mountain tells its own story of time, endurance, and wonder. There are just 2 national parks in Scotland, but each feels like a world in itself. The first, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park, sits at the meeting point of the lowlands and highlands, a place of tranquil waters and rising hills, where Scotland begins to reveal its soul. The shimmering Loch Lomond, immortalized in song, stretches wide and calm beneath forested slopes, dotted with tiny islands. Around it, trails wind through oak woods, waterfalls tumble through glens, and villages like Barmaha and Luss hum with life and laughter. Further north, Cairngorms National Park is vast, wild, and elemental, the largest protected area in the UK. Its landscape is a mix of ancient Caledonian pine forest, Arctic plateaus, and crystal-clear rivers. Red deer move across the heather, golden eagles circle overhead, and in winter, snow transforms the mountains into a world of white silence. It's a place for skiers and hikers, dreamers and explorers, a reminder that Scotland's wilderness is never far away. Beyond the parks, Scotland is home to dozens of nature reserves and conservation areas, from the seabird cliffs of St Kilda, a remote UNESCO World Heritage Site, to the peat bogs and pine woods of the Flow country, one of Europe's great carbon-storing ecosystems. In the west, the Isle of Rum National Nature Reserve shelters red deer, eagles, and wild mountain scenery, while the Outer Hebrides offer some of the most pristine coastal habitats on Earth. In these places, Scotland's wild heart beats strongest, untouched, untamed, and unforgettable. Mountains and hiking routes. To walk in Scotland is to walk through myth, across landscapes shaped by time and told through legend. The mountains here are not just heights to be conquered, but sacred places of silence and grandeur. From mist-wrapped peaks to windswept ridges, every trail feels like a journey through the country's soul. At the heart of Scotland's wild majesty stands Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in the British Isles, rising 1,345 meters above Fort William. It's both a challenge and a pilgrimage. The mountain track, or tourist route, draws hikers from around the world, offering sweeping views of glens and lochs, while more experienced climbers test themselves on the north face, a vertical cathedral of rock and cloud. On a clear day, from its summit, you can see almost 1/5 of the country laid out below you. But the spirit of Scottish hiking lies beyond just one peak. The Highlands ripple with ranges, the Cairngorms, vast and rugged, where plateaus stretch to the horizon and ancient pines line hidden lochs. The Cuillin Mountains on Skye, jagged and dramatic, demanding respect and rewarding bravery, and the Northwest Highlands, where mountains like Sullivan, Antilac, and Stack Pollade rise like sculptures from the moors. For walkers of every pace, there's a trail that feels just right. The West Highland Way, Scotland's most famous long-distance route, winds 154 kilometers from Milngavie near Glasgow to Fort William, passing through lochs, moors, and mountains that seem to change character with every step. The Great Glen Way follows the Caledonian Canal from Fort William to Inverness, tracing the fault line that splits the Highlands, and passes the legendary waters of Loch Ness. In the borders and lowlands, gentler paths meander through farmlands, forests, and coastal cliffs. Routes like the Southern Upland Way or the Fife Coastal Path offer breathtaking views, ancient ruins, and the kind of quiet that only wide-open spaces can give. Hiking in Scotland is not just an outdoor activity, it's communion with something timeless. The wind carries the scent of heather, the earth hums beneath your boots, and every summit feels like a conversation with the sky. Rivers and lakes. Water runs through Scotland like a heartbeat, wild, pure, and full of legend. Its rivers carve deep valleys, its lochs reflect the moods of the sky, and its shores whisper stories older than time itself. To follow Scotland's waterways is to follow the flow of its spirit, sometimes calm and glassy, sometimes fierce and untamed, always beautiful. Perhaps the most famous of all is Loch Ness, stretching for 37 kilometers through the Great Glen, dark and deep enough to hide mysteries both real and imagined. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster may capture headlines, but the loch's true power lies in its stillness, a vast mirror of shadow and light, framed by heathered hills and mist that moves like memory. In the Highlands, lochs and rivers are everywhere. Loch Lomond, the largest by surface area, is a place of serenity and song. Its islands, scattered like emeralds across the water, tell stories of clans, saints, and poets. Further north, Loch Marie shimmers beneath ancient pines, its islands crowned with old chapel ruins and folklore that lingers like mist at dawn. The rivers are no less enchanting. The River Tay, Scotland's longest, flows for nearly 120 miles from the Highlands to the North Sea, passing through the forests of Perthshire and salmon-rich waters beloved by anglers. The River Spey, swift and clear, runs through whisky country, its banks lined with distilleries whose spirit seems drawn from the water itself. In the west, the River Clyde carries both nature and history, from quiet glens to the industrial heart of Glasgow, where shipbuilders once sent vessels across the world. And in the far north, the River Dee cuts through royal landscapes and mountain heather, its crystal waters as clear as the Highland air. Each loch and river tells a tale, of clans and legends, of songs and solitude. To stand by the water in Scotland is to feel both peace and power, as if the land itself is breathing beside you. Caving and underground worlds. Beneath Scotland's rugged peaks and misty glens lies a world few travelers ever see, a secret kingdom of stone and silence. These caves and caverns, sculpted by rivers, seas, and centuries, tell stories of time, geology, and myth. Here, light meets darkness, and every echo feels like a whisper from the earth itself. In the far north, near the windswept village of Durness, you'll find Smoo Cave, one of Scotland's greatest natural wonders. Part sea cave, part freshwater chamber, it yawns open like the mouth of some ancient giant. Water tumbles from a hidden waterfall deep inside, thundering into a pool that glows an eerie green under torchlight. Legend has it that smugglers, Vikings, and spirits have all passed through its depths, leaving behind tales that linger in the sound of dripping water. Further south, the caves of Assynt in Sutherland reveal another side of Scotland's underground world. These limestone caverns, like Uam and Clayonate, are the longest in the country, winding through narrow passages and crystal-clear streams. The region's geology is some of the oldest on Earth, and explorers who venture below find chambers formed over millions of years, untouched and otherworldly. On the west coast, the island of Staffa holds the legendary Fingal's Cave, whose hexagonal basalt columns rise like the pipes of a cathedral. When the sea surges inside, the waves create a haunting melody that inspired Mendelssohn's Hebrides Overture. It's one of the most spellbinding places in Scotland, a reminder that even the sea makes music in this land of myth. For the truly adventurous, smaller cave systems lie scattered across the Borders, Fife, and the Isle of Skye, each offering glimpses of underground rivers, fossils, and strange rock formations. But even for those who never descend into the depths, Scotland's caves remain symbols of mystery, unseen worlds beneath a land already rich in legend. Culture and tradition. Festivals and celebrations. In Scotland, celebration is an art form, a lively blend of music, fire, laughter, and deep-rooted tradition. From ancient Celtic rituals to world-famous cultural events, the Scots know how to turn even the darkest winter night into a spectacle of warmth and joy. Every festival feels like an invitation to dance, to sing, and to feel utterly alive. The calendar begins with Hogmanay, Scotland's legendary New Year celebration. Forget quiet countdowns, this is a festival of fire, music, and midnight magic. In Edinburgh, torchlight processions sweep through the city, bagpipes echo across cobbled streets, and fireworks burst above the castle. As the clock strikes 12, the crowd joins hands to sing Auld Lang Syne, written by Robert Burns, a song of friendship known across the world, but felt most deeply here. In January, Burns Night honors the national poet himself with a feast of whiskey, haggis, and verse. It's a night of laughter and literary love, where the address to a haggis is delivered with theatrical gusto, and toasts ring out to Scotland's spirit of creativity. Spring brings the Beltane Fire Festival, a modern revival of an ancient Celtic celebration. On Edinburgh's Calton Hill, performers in painted costumes dance by torchlight, welcoming summer with wild energy and firelit rhythm. Summer belongs to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, the world's largest arts festival. For 3 glorious weeks, the capital transforms into a stage without borders, every corner alive with comedy, theatre, music, and street performance. It's chaos and creativity in equal measure, where both famous stars and first-time performers share the same citywide spotlight. In the Highlands, Highland games bring tradition to life with tossing cabers, piping competitions, and clan pride. These gatherings are part sport, part celebration, where kilts, drums, and laughter fill the summer air. And when winter returns, the glow doesn't fade. Villages and towns across Scotland light bonfires, sing carols, and host up Helliaa in Shetland, a Viking-style fire festival complete with torches, costumes, and a burning longship that illuminates the northern night. Every Scottish festival, from the grandest to the smallest, carries the same heart, a love of community, tradition, and the simple joy of gathering together. Food and drink. Scotland's food is a celebration of its land and sea, honest, hearty, and full of character. From wild salmon to golden whiskey, every bite tells a story of rugged landscapes and enduring traditions. The flavors are bold, the portions generous, and the hospitality endless. Here, meals are not just eaten, they are shared, toasted, and remembered. In the Highlands and Islands, the cuisine is shaped by nature itself. Fresh fish and shellfish are the pride of the coast, from sweet hand-dived scallops in Oban to oysters from Loch Fyne and smoked salmon from the River Spey. Each dish carries the taste of clean water and salt air. Then there's haggis, Scotland's most iconic dish and a symbol of national pride. It may sound humble, but one bite reveals its secret: rich, peppery, and deeply satisfying. Traditionally served with neeps and tatties, turnips and potatoes, it's best enjoyed on Burns Night, when poetry and whiskey flow as freely as the laughter. Speaking of whiskey, or used beatha, the water of life, Scotland's distilleries are temples to craftsmanship. Each region has its own flavor: the smoky peat of Islay, the smooth elegance of the lowlands, the honeyed warmth of Speyside, and the powerful spirit of the Highlands. A distillery visit isn't just a tasting, it's an immersion in heritage and pride. But beyond whiskey, there's a thriving world of modern Scottish cuisine. In cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow, young chefs are reinventing traditional dishes with creativity and flair, turning local produce into something fresh, refined, and unmistakably Scottish. Pair that with locally brewed ales, craft gins, or a simple dram by the fire, and you'll taste the country's warmth in every sip. Arts and music. In Scotland, art doesn't just hang in galleries or play on stages, it lives in the landscape, the people, and the rhythm of everyday life. Creativity here is as natural as rain on stone, shaped by history, humor, and the wildness of the land. From haunting ballads to modern design, Scottish art and music tell a story of passion, resilience, and pride. Music is the country's heartbeat. You'll hear it everywhere, from the skirl of bagpipes echoing across castle walls to the soulful strum of guitars in cozy pubs. Traditional folk music remains at the heart of Scottish identity. Instruments like the fiddle, accordion, and clarsach, harp, bring old tunes to life, filling the air with energy that makes even the quietest listener tap a foot. But Scottish music is far from stuck in the past. The same spirit that once filled ceilidh halls now thrives in contemporary sound, rock, indie, and folk fusions that reach global audiences. Artists like Runrig, Amy MacDonald, and Lewis Capaldi carry that unmistakable blend of soul and storytelling that defines the Scottish voice. Art, too, runs deep. Scotland has inspired generations of painters and sculptors, from Sir Henry Raeburn's portraits of Enlightenment thinkers to the moody seascapes of the Scottish colorists. In modern times, galleries like Kelvingrove in Glasgow and the Scottish National Gallery in Edinburgh showcase everything from Renaissance masterpieces to bold contemporary works. Then there's architecture, an art form in its own right. The genius of Charles Rennie Mackintosh still graces Glasgow with elegant curves and floral motifs, while modern designers blend tradition and innovation with striking confidence. Scotland's artistic pulse beats strongest during the Edinburgh Festival, when music, theatre, and art fill every corner of the city. Yet even in the smallest village, creativity thrives, in poetry readings, community ceilidhs, and murals that bring colour to stone walls. In Scotland, art and music are not luxuries, they are languages, ways of remembering who we are and celebrating what it means to be alive. Clothing and fashion. Few nations wear their heritage as proudly as Scotland. Here, clothing is not just fabric, it's identity, history, and art. From the unmistakable tartan of the Highlands to the sleek designs of modern Scottish fashion, what people wear in Scotland tells a story woven through centuries of pride, rebellion, and creativity. At the heart of it all is the kilt, perhaps the most recognizable garment in the world. Each clan once had its own tartan, its pattern and colors representing family, region, and loyalty. Worn by Highland warriors and poets alike, the kilt has survived centuries of bans, battles, and reinventions. Today, it's worn at weddings, festivals, and formal gatherings, a proud symbol of heritage and courage. Tartan itself is more than decoration, it's tradition in motion. From the deep greens of the Black Watch to the bright reds of Royal Stuart, every pattern carries meaning. Visitors can trace their ancestry through tartan archives, discovering connections between design, geography, and family lineage. Yet Scottish fashion doesn't stop at the kilt. The country's designers have long blended practicality with elegance, shaped by a landscape that demands both warmth and durability. The tweed jackets of the Borders, woven from wool dyed with local plants, became a staple of country style, rugged, timeless, and beautifully made. In the modern world, Scotland's fashion scene continues to evolve. Brands like Harris Tweed, hand-woven in the Outer Hebrides, remain global icons of craftsmanship, while contemporary designers, from Christopher Kane to Patrick Grant, bring Scottish flair to the international stage. In Edinburgh and Glasgow, boutiques showcase innovative collections that fuse heritage with bold modern design. Even the weather plays a role in Scottish fashion. A sturdy coat, a warm scarf, and a pair of good boots are essential companions in a land where rain and wind often make surprise appearances. Yet somehow, even practicality here feels stylish. In Scotland, to dress is to honor, to the past, the place, and the people. Language and literature. Scotland speaks with many voices, lyrical, fierce, and endlessly expressive. Its languages carry the rhythm of its landscape, the roll of its hills, the roar of its seas, and the heartbeat of its people. From Gaelic lullabies to modern novels, words here are more than communication, they're an inheritance, a way of keeping history alive. 3 languages shape Scotland's tongue: English, Scots, and Scottish Gaelic. Each adds a layer to the country's cultural fabric. Scots, with its rich expressions and warm humor, can make even everyday speech sound like poetry. Phrases such as dinny fash, don't worry, or braw, fine, splendid, bring a smile before you even translate them. In the Highlands and Islands, Gaelic still sings in song and story, its soft sounds echoing a heritage that has survived centuries of change. To hear it spoken is to feel Scotland's soul. Scotland's love of language runs deep. After all, this is a land that has given the world poets, philosophers, and storytellers in abundance. Robert Burns, the national bard, captured both wit and tenderness in his verse, while Sir Walter Scott shaped romantic visions of the Highlands that still inspire travelers today. In modern times, authors like Muriel Spark, Irvine Welsh, and Alexander McCall Smith have carried Scotland's voice into the global literary landscape, proving that the nation's storytelling spirit remains as alive as ever. Literature here feels like home, whether it's a battered book in a cottage by the sea, a reading at the Edinburgh International Book Festival, or a quiet library beneath a rain-streaked window. Scotland writes not to escape, but to remember, to celebrate life, loss, laughter, and love in all its forms. Even the smallest tale, told by a fireside or sung in a pub, reminds you that words, like the land, endure. Religion and spiritual life. Faith in Scotland is both ancient and evolving, a quiet thread that runs through its glens, churches, and islands. It's not always loud or grand, sometimes it's found in the silence of a lock at dawn, or the hush inside a centuries-old stone chapel. Here, spirituality is as much about place as prayer. Christianity first took root in Scotland in the early centuries AD, brought by Celtic monks who traveled through wild, untamed lands to spread their faith. One of the most beloved of these figures was St. Columba, who arrived from Ireland in 563 AD and founded his monastery on the island of Iona. Small and windswept, Iona remains one of Scotland's most sacred places, a cradle of Christianity and a symbol of peace that still draws pilgrims seeking reflection and renewal. Over time, faith shaped both Scotland's identity and its architecture. The medieval abbeys of Melrose, Jedburgh, and Dunfermline rise from the past like echoes of devotion, their ruins open to wind and sky. The Scottish Reformation of the 16th century transformed the nation, giving rise to the Church of Scotland, often called the Kirk, a faith rooted in Presbyterian values of simplicity, equality, and community. Yet, Scotland's spiritual life has never stood still. In cities and islands alike, churches of all denominations, Catholic, Protestant, Episcopal, Orthodox, and beyond, coexist beside mosques, synagogues, and temples, reflecting a country that embraces both tradition and diversity. For many Scots, spirituality extends beyond religion. It's found in nature, in music, and in acts of kindness, the quiet generosity of a neighbor, the reverent silence before a Highland sunrise, or the sound of a choir echoing through an ancient kirk. In Scotland, faith isn't confined to buildings, it breathes through the land itself. Customs and etiquette. The Scots are known for their warmth, humor, and straightforward honesty, a combination that makes every encounter feel genuine. While their landscapes may be wild and untamed, their manners are gentle and grounded in respect. Understanding a few simple customs helps visitors connect not just with the country, but with the spirit of its people. At the heart of Scottish etiquette is friendliness. A smile and a greeting go a long way, whether you're walking into a shop in the Highlands or striking up a chat on a train. Small talk, about the weather, travel, or football, is part of daily life, and the Scots love a good laugh. Their humor can be dry, witty, and self-deprecating, often delivered with a twinkle in the eye. Politeness is appreciated but never stiff. People tend to address each other by first name, even in business, though handshakes remain a common form of introduction. When invited into someone's home, it's customary to bring a small gift, perhaps a bottle of wine, chocolates, or flowers, and to always thank your host warmly. Respect for personal space is valued, but so is hospitality. In rural areas, strangers may wave as you pass by, a small but sincere gesture of connection. Holding doors open, offering help, and saying please and thank you are second nature here. When it comes to culture and identity, a bit of awareness goes a long way. Many Scots are proud of their national heritage and distinct from England, so avoid referring to the entire UK as England. Likewise, conversations about independence, politics, or religion are best approached with sensitivity, or left for when the whiskey has been poured and trust has been built. Tipping is appreciated but not excessive, around 10 to 15% in restaurants is standard, and rounding up taxi fares or leaving a small thank you in pubs is common. Punctuality is valued, especially in formal or professional settings, though social gatherings are often relaxed. And finally, if you're offered a drink, a story, or a song, say yes. In Scotland, sharing is the greatest courtesy of all. Sports and leisure. In Scotland, sport is more than competition, it's a reflection of pride, community, and the joy of being outdoors. From the roar of a football crowd to the quiet rhythm of a fly fisherman on a misty loch, the country lives and breathes activity. The landscape itself invites movement, hills to climb, seas to sail, and endless paths to wander. Football, soccer, is the nation's heartbeat. Every Saturday, stadiums and pubs alike hum with passion as supporters cheer on clubs like Celtic and Rangers in Glasgow's fierce rivalry, or local teams in towns across the country. The Scottish national team inspires devotion, too. No matter the result, the pride never fades. Rugby is equally loved, especially during the Six Nations Championship, when fans fill Murrayfield Stadium in Edinburgh, draped in blue and singing Flower of Scotland with thunderous emotion. It's a moment that feels more like communion than sport, a gathering of voices bound by spirit. Beyond the stadiums, the outdoors offers its own kind of playground. Scotland is a paradise for hiking, cycling, and wild swimming. The Munros, mountains over 3,000 feet, are a rite of passage for many walkers, with some devoted souls bagging all 282. The rewards? Views that stretch to eternity and the quiet satisfaction of standing atop a piece of timeless earth. For those drawn to water, the lochs and rivers offer world-class fishing for salmon and trout, while the coasts and islands are perfect for sea kayaking and sailing. The waves of Thurso even attract surfers chasing Atlantic swells, proof that adventure here knows no bounds. And then there's golf, born on Scotland's shores and still played with reverence. The old course at St Andrews, the home of golf, is hallowed ground for players around the world. Yet even the smallest village course carries that same blend of history, beauty, and quiet challenge. When the day's exertion is done, leisure takes a gentler form, a dram of whiskey by the fire, music in a local pub, or simply watching the northern light fade over a loch. In Scotland, rest is as sacred as movement. Both are ways of belonging to the land. Architecture through the ages. Scotland's architecture is like its history, layered, enduring, and full of character. Every stone tells a story, of kings and craftsmen, of faith and fortress, of invention and identity. From prehistoric stone circles to the sleek skylines of its cities, the country's buildings mirror the spirit of its people, resilient, creative, and proud of their roots. The story begins in deep prehistory. Across the Orkney Islands, time stands still among the stones of Skara Brae, a Neolithic village older than the pyramids, its dwellings still bearing the marks of human hands from over 5,000 years ago. Nearby, the ring of Brodger and Maeshowe whisper of ancient rituals beneath shifting northern skies, architecture not just of shelter, but of meaning. As centuries passed, Scotland's builders looked to both defense and devotion. The medieval era gave rise to castles and abbeys, those mighty symbols of clan power and faith. Edinburgh Castle, perched upon its volcanic rock, seems grown from the earth itself, while Stirling Castle guards the heart of the Highlands with walls steeped in battle and legend. Meanwhile, the ruins of Melrose Abbey and Iona Abbey glow with the grace of Gothic arches and the light of faith. The Renaissance brought refinement and ambition. Palaces like Holyrood House and Linlithgow showcased art, symmetry, and grandeur, while noble estates such as Culzean Castle and Hopetoun House displayed the grace of neoclassical design. Yet even in elegance, Scottish architecture retained its strength, built to withstand both weather and time. The industrial age transformed the cities. Glasgow, once a hub of shipbuilding and innovation, flourished with Victorian splendor, its sandstone streets adorned with elegant facades, wrought iron, and the genius of Charles Rennie Mackintosh, whose Art Nouveau style still inspires designers around the world. Edinburgh's new town, with its Georgian order and symmetry, remains one of the most beautiful urban designs in Europe, a testament to the Enlightenment spirit that shaped it. Today, Scotland's architecture continues to evolve, blending old and new with quiet confidence. The Scottish Parliament building in Edinburgh stands as a symbol of modern democracy and design innovation, while contemporary eco-homes and cultural spaces honor tradition through craftsmanship and sustainable vision. Every building, from croft to castle, carries a story, one of endurance, imagination, and belonging. Handicrafts and traditions. In Scotland, craft is more than skill, it's memory made tangible. From the rhythmic clack of looms in island workshops to the delicate carving of wood, horn, and stone, Scottish craftsmanship reflects a land shaped by nature and nourished by heritage. Every handmade piece carries the soul of its maker and the story of its place. On the Isle of Harris, artisans weave the world-famous Harris tweed, a fabric as rugged and beautiful as the landscape itself. Woven by hand in crofters' cottages and dyed with the natural colors of peat, moss, and heather, each bolt bears the orb mark of authenticity. To wear Harris tweed is to wear a piece of Scotland's islands, warmth spun from wind and wool. In the Highlands, traditional tartan weaving continues to flourish. Each clan's pattern, known as a set, tells of ancestry and allegiance, linking families to their roots through thread and color. Whether tailored into kilts, scarves, or blankets, tartan remains a living emblem of Scottish pride. Across the country, other crafts thrive in quiet mastery. In Orkney, makers braid straw work into intricate baskets and ornaments, preserving Viking-age techniques. In the Borders, silversmiths and woodworkers carve Celtic knots and Highland motifs into jewelry and decor. Potters mold clay inspired by the textures of stone and sea, while glass artists capture the colors of lochs and skies within their creations. Music, too, is a craft. The hand-carved bagpipes, fiddles, and harps crafted by skilled artisans still resonate in ceilidh halls and concert stages alike. Each instrument, shaped by hand and heart, carries centuries of sound within its wood. These crafts are not relics of the past but threads in a living tapestry. Scottish artisans balance old methods with new ideas, keeping tradition alive through passion and patience. Visitors can find workshops across the land, in small towns, seaside studios, and remote island sheds, where craft and culture continue to thrive, one handmade treasure at a time. History. Ancient origins. Long before castles crowned the hills or clans claimed the Glens, Scotland was a land of mystery, shaped by stone, sea, and spirit. Its ancient origins stretch back thousands of years, to a time when people built with earth and rock, aligning their monuments with the stars and carving their beliefs into the very landscape. In the far north, the Orkney Islands hold some of Europe's most remarkable prehistoric sites. At Skara Brae, a Neolithic village older than Stonehenge, you can still see hearths, stone beds, and shelves where families once lived over 5,000 years ago. Nearby, the ring of Brodger and standing stones of Stennis form great stone circles that may have marked rituals of sun, moon, and season. These monuments speak of a people deeply connected to nature, farmers, fishers, and dreamers who saw the divine in the land around them. Further south, remnants of ancient hill forts and carvings dot the countryside, from the Borders to the Highlands. Dunnad Fort in Argyll, once the seat of the early Scots of Dalriada, still bears a carved footprint where kings were inaugurated, symbolizing their bond with the soil beneath them. Across Scotland, Pictish stones carved with spirals, animals, and warriors tell stories of an enigmatic people who ruled much of the north before history was written down. The Picts, Celts, and early Gaels each left their mark, not just in artifacts, but in language, legend, and landscape. Place names still echo their influence. Aber, Inver, Glen, words that mean river mouths, waters, and valleys, linking the modern world to its prehistoric roots. Even today, walking among Scotland's ancient sites feels like stepping through a veil of time. The stones hum with silence, the air feels charged, and the connection between past and present remains tangible. Here, history is not buried, it breathes. Kingdoms and empires. Scotland's story is one of kingdoms forged in courage and tested by time. Long before it became the nation we know today, it was a mosaic of tribes and realms, each with its own leaders, legends, and loyalties. From the mysterious Picts to the early Scots, these ancient kingdoms shaped a land that would learn to stand proud and independent amid the empires of Europe. In the early centuries AD, the Picts ruled much of northern Scotland, fierce warriors and skilled artisans who left behind intricately carved stones but few written records. Their power stretched from the Highlands to the eastern coast, until they gradually merged with the Gaels of Dalriada, a kingdom founded by settlers from Ireland. Together, these peoples laid the foundations of what would become Scotland. By the 9th century, under Kenneth MacAlpin, the Picts and Scots united to form the Kingdom of Alba, the seat of the Scottish nation. This new kingdom grew in strength and spirit, its rulers defending it against Norse invasions and internal divisions. Across the centuries, clans emerged, kinship groups bound by loyalty and land, whose identities still echo in the tartans and names of today. Meanwhile, powerful neighbors to the south, the Romans, then the English, sought to impose their will on Scotland's borders. The Romans built Hadrian's Wall and later the lesser-known Antonine Wall, but their influence never conquered the Highlands. Even in the shadow of empire, Scotland remained untamed. The medieval period saw the rise of Scotland's great kings, figures like David I, who modernized governance and religion, and Robert the Bruce, whose triumph at Bannockburn in 1314 became a symbol of defiance and unity. Through alliances, wars, and dynastic struggles, Scotland held its sovereignty while larger empires grew and fell around it. The later union of the crowns in 1603 and the eventual Act of Union in 1707 would bind Scotland and England under one monarch and one parliament, but the Scottish identity, rooted in clan, crown, and courage, endured. Even as empire expanded across the seas, Scotland's own influence grew. Its thinkers shaped the Enlightenment, its engineers powered industry, and its people carried their culture to every corner of the world. The story of Scotland's kingdoms is one of resilience, of a people who refused to be defined by conquest and instead shaped their destiny from the high ground. Colonial and foreign influence. Though Scotland has always stood proudly distinct, its history has been shaped, and sometimes tested, by forces from beyond its borders. From Roman legions and Norse raiders to political unions and global empires, foreign influence has left its mark on Scotland's story, sculpting both its character and its connections with the wider world. The first great outsiders were the Romans, who arrived in the 1st century AD and found the northern tribes, the Caledonians, too fierce to conquer. They built Hadrian's Wall to mark the northern edge of their empire and later pushed further to the Antonine Wall, but their hold was brief. In their retreat, they left behind not submission, but a legacy of resistance, a trait that would define Scotland for centuries. Next came the Vikings, sailing from Scandinavia in their dragon-headed ships. They raided and settled along Scotland's western and northern coasts, leaving behind a deep Norse imprint on language, culture, and place names, especially in the Orkney and Shetland Islands. The Norse influence blended with Celtic tradition, creating a culture of seafaring resilience that endures to this day. In later centuries, as Scotland forged its independence from England, foreign powers often played pivotal roles. The old alliance with France in the 13th century became one of Europe's oldest political friendships, forged through mutual opposition to England and strengthened by trade, military cooperation, and even shared royal blood. Many Scots studied, served, and settled in France, and traces of that bond remain in the country's architecture, cuisine, and diplomacy. The 17th and 18th centuries saw Scotland drawn into the orbit of the British Empire. Following the Union of the Crowns, 1603, and Act of Union, 1707, Scottish merchants, soldiers, and scholars ventured across the world, to the Americas, Africa, India, and beyond. Though some prospered through trade and exploration, others became entangled in darker chapters of empire, including the slave trade. It was a time of ambition and complexity, when Scottish ingenuity helped build an empire that, in turn, changed Scotland itself. Yet throughout every wave of influence, Scotland absorbed and adapted without losing its soul. It borrowed and blended, creating a culture as layered as its landscapes, part Celtic, part Norse, part European, but always unmistakably Scottish. Struggles and revolutions. Scotland's history is one of courage, of a small nation that refused to be silenced. Its struggles, rebellions, and revolutions have shaped not just its politics, but its soul. Every battle cry, every uprising, every hard-won victory echoes through the glens and castles that still stand as silent witnesses to defiance. The story begins with the fight for freedom in the Wars of Independence. In the late 13th century, when England sought to claim Scotland as its own, ordinary men rose to defend their land. William Wallace, a name now immortalized in legend, led his forces to victory at the Battle of Stirling Bridge, 1297, proving that determination could triumph over might. Years later, Robert the Bruce carried that torch forward, defeating English forces at Bannockburn, 1314, and securing Scotland's independence. These weren't just wars for land, they were battles for identity. But the centuries that followed were far from peaceful. Dynastic feuds, royal intrigue, and foreign entanglements tore the crown and clans apart. The tragic story of Mary, Queen of Scots, who was executed after years of political imprisonment, symbolizes both Scotland's beauty and its turmoil. Her life and death still haunt the nation's imagination. The Jacobite risings of the 17th and 18th centuries brought Scotland once again to the edge of transformation. Loyal to the exiled Stuart kings, Highland clans fought to restore their monarch, culminating in the ill-fated Battle of Culloden, 1746. The defeat ended centuries of clan power. Tartans were banned, weapons confiscated, and traditions suppressed. Yet the spirit of the Highlands could not be erased. It went underground, surviving in song, story, and memory. Even in times of loss, Scotland reinvented itself. The 18th and 19th centuries saw an intellectual revolution, the Scottish Enlightenment, where thinkers like David Hume, Adam Smith, and James Watt transformed philosophy, economics, and science. The land that once fought for freedom of body now fought for freedom of mind. From rebellion to renaissance, Scotland's struggles have always been acts of creation as much as resistance. Each challenge has forged something new, a nation proud of its scars, but stronger for them. Modern nationhood. Scotland's journey into the modern age is one of rediscovery, a nation looking forward while never forgetting where it came from. From the echoes of ancient battles to the energy of contemporary cities, Scotland has transformed itself into a vibrant, confident country that continues to shape its own destiny. The 18th and 19th centuries brought both challenge and change. The Act of Union, 1707, joined Scotland and England under one parliament in London, creating Great Britain. Many Scots viewed this union with suspicion, a political compromise forged through necessity rather than passion, but it opened doors to trade, industry, and influence on a global scale. As the Industrial Revolution unfolded, Scotland became one of its driving forces. Shipyards in Glasgow launched vessels that sailed the world, while inventors and engineers such as James Watt and Alexander Graham Bell redefined how people lived and communicated. The city swelled with workers, immigrants, and ambition, a new kind of Scotland built on steel, sweat, and ingenuity. The 20th century brought yet more transformation. Wars tested the nation's courage, economic shifts tested its endurance. But through hardship came renewal. In the post-war decades, Scotland's people pushed for a voice of their own once again. The rise of cultural pride, in language, literature, and identity, fueled a movement toward self-governance. In 1999, after nearly 3 centuries of centralized rule, the Scottish Parliament reconvened in Edinburgh, a symbolic and practical step toward renewed self-determination. With it came the power to make decisions about health, education, and the environment. Though full independence remains a subject of debate, modern Scotland stands as a nation confident in its culture and convictions, embracing progress while honoring its roots. Today Scotland is a country of thinkers, creators, and dreamers. Its universities are among the world's best, its cities buzz with art and innovation, and its landscapes remain timelessly inspiring. The flag still flies proudly, not in defiance, but in dignity. Modern Scotland is proof that identity is not static. It grows, adapts, and shines anew with every generation. Today's identity. Modern Scotland is a nation both ancient and alive, proud of its past yet pulsing with new ideas, voices, and dreams. To walk its streets today is to see a country that has learned to balance heritage with progress, poetry with practicality, and local pride with global vision. Scotland's identity is woven from many threads. You'll find it in the sound of bagpipes echoing across Edinburgh's Royal Mile, but also in the vibrant street art of Glasgow, the creativity of Dundee's V&A Museum, and the community spirit that runs from fishing villages to university halls. It's an identity shaped as much by innovation as by tradition. The Scots remain fiercely proud of their distinct culture. The Scottish Parliament in Edinburgh symbolizes a renewed sense of self-governance, while discussions about full independence continue to spark passionate but peaceful debate. The question is no longer whether Scotland can stand alone, it's how it defines itself within an interconnected world. Cultural pride flourishes in daily life. The Gaelic language is seeing revival, appearing on road signs, in classrooms, and in songs that link the modern nation to its Celtic roots. Festivals like Burns Night, Hogmanay, and the Edinburgh Fringe celebrate Scotland's enduring creativity, while communities embrace both old customs and new causes, from climate action to equality and inclusion. The Scottish people themselves are perhaps the greatest reflection of the nation's character, friendly yet forthright, humorous yet humble, deeply rooted yet open-minded. The warmth of a Scottish welcome is legendary, whether shared over a dram of whiskey, a ceilidh dance, or a simple chat in a windswept cafe overlooking the sea. In the end, today's Scotland is not defined by its borders but by its spirit, one that endures, adapts, and inspires. A country of thinkers, makers, and storytellers, still writing the next chapter of its timeless tale. Travel highlights. Top cities, towns, and villages. Scotland's charm lies not only in its sweeping landscapes but in its places, its cities full of energy and art, its towns steeped in heritage, and its villages that seem lifted from legend. Each has its own heartbeat, its own accent, its own way of welcoming the world. At the center of it all stands Edinburgh, the proud capital, a city of contrasts. Its old town, with narrow closes and cobbled streets, feels almost medieval, crowned by the mighty Edinburgh Castle perched upon its volcanic rock. Just downhill lies the graceful new town, all Georgian symmetry and elegance. Together, they form a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a masterpiece of urban design. But Edinburgh is more than history, it's alive with ideas. During the Fringe Festival, the world's largest arts event, the city becomes a stage for creativity, comedy, and conversation. To the west, Glasgow hums with a different rhythm, bold, soulful, and full of heart. Once the powerhouse of the Industrial Revolution, it's now a city of music, art, and warmth. Wander down Sauchiehall Street, explore the architectural genius of Charles Rennie Mackintosh, or catch live music in one of its countless venues. Glasgow wears its pride in its people, who'll greet you like an old friend before you've even ordered your tea. Further north, the ancient city of St. Andrews whispers of scholars and saints. Home to Scotland's oldest university and the birthplace of golf, it's a place where medieval ruins meet windswept beaches. Aberdeen, the granite city, shines silver in the northern light, while Dundee has reinvented itself as a hub of design and innovation, its V&A Museum a beacon of modern Scottish creativity. In the Highlands, Inverness stands as the gateway to mystery and wilderness, a place where urban comfort meets lochside legend. And scattered throughout the land are villages that capture the pure essence of Scotland. Ploughton, with its palm-lined harbour, Tobermory, painted in cheerful rainbow colours, and Pitlochry, where Victorian charm meets Highland air. Each place, from bustling city to remote isle, carries a piece of the Scottish soul. Together, they form a map not just of geography, but of identity. Historical and cultural landmarks. Scotland is a living museum, every castle, bridge, and monument a chapter of its remarkable story. The nation's landmarks are not mere structures, they are witnesses to centuries of triumph and turmoil, artistry, and endurance. From mist-shrouded fortresses to majestic cathedrals, each stone holds the echo of those who came before. Few sites capture the imagination like Edinburgh Castle, perched high on Castle Rock, watching over the capital. Once a royal residence and military stronghold, it now stands as the heart of Scotland's history, where kings were crowned, battles planned, and the nation's crown jewels kept safe. Below its shadow, the Royal Mile winds down to Holyrood Palace, the king's official Scottish residence, linking monarchy to the city's medieval soul. To the north, Stirling Castle rises proudly above the River Forth, commanding the gateway to the Highlands. Here, Mary, Queen of Scots was crowned, and nearby on the plains of Bannockburn, Robert the Bruce secured Scotland's freedom in 1314. The Wallace Monument, a striking stone tower overlooking the same valley, pays tribute to Scotland's great patriot, William Wallace, a hero whose defiance still inspires the world. But Scotland's landmarks are not confined to castles and battlefields. In Glasgow, culture thrives within masterpieces like the Kelvingrove Art Gallery, the Glasgow Cathedral, and the modern Riverside Museum, blending the old and the new with effortless pride. Meanwhile, Rosslyn Chapel, near Edinburgh, remains one of the country's most mysterious treasures, its intricate carvings steeped in legend, myth, and symbolism. Across the Highlands, ruins and relics of the land, from Donnan Castle, rising from a misty loch like something from a dream, to the haunting remains of Iona Abbey, where kings were once laid to rest. On Orkney, ancient monuments like Skara Brae and the Ring of Brodger remind us that Scotland's story began long before written history. Every landmark tells a tale of beauty, bravery, and belief. Together, they form the soul of Scotland, carved in stone and carried in time. Beaches and coastline. Scotland's coastline is a world of wonder, wild, poetic, and breathtakingly diverse. Stretching for nearly 20,000 kilometers, it weaves through rugged cliffs, golden sands, hidden coves, and island shores where the Atlantic meets the North Sea in a dance of wind and waves. Here, nature rules, and yet it welcomes every wanderer who seeks beauty in its untamed edges. In the far northwest, the beaches of Harris and Lewis in the Outer Hebrides seem almost otherworldly. Luscantire Beach, with its white sands and turquoise waters, could easily be mistaken for the Caribbean, until you feel the cool sea breeze carrying the cry of seabirds and the scent of salt and heather. The shifting light paints the dunes gold one moment and silver the next, creating landscapes that feel like living art. Along the Murray Firth, dolphins dance in calm waters near Shannonry Point, while further east, the Aberdeenshire coast reveals dramatic cliffs crowned with ruined castles like Dunnottar, perched above a roaring sea. These coastal fortresses once guarded the realm, now they guard the imagination. To the west, the Isle of Skye offers wild seascapes that stir the soul. Its black cliffs plunge into deep blue water, and secret coves hide among rocky headlands. Further south, the Kintyre Peninsula and Isla boast gentle bays and sweeping sands, perfect for quiet reflection. or perhaps a dram of whiskey as the sun sinks behind the Isles. Even near the cities, Scotland's beaches shine. St Andrews blends historic charm with seaside serenity, its long sands stretching beside the ruins of a medieval cathedral. In East Lothian, Yellow Craig and Gull Lane offer peaceful escapes within sight of Edinburgh's skyline. But the coast isn't just for summer strolls, it's for all seasons. In winter, the waves crash in thunderous rhythm. In spring, puffins and seals appear. And in autumn, the light turns the sea to molten gold. Every visit feels new. Scotland's coastline doesn't merely meet the ocean, it speaks to it, and to all who stand before it in awe. Hidden gems. Beyond its famous castles, lochs, and cities, Scotland hides 1,000 quiet wonders, places off the tourist trail where the country reveals its soul. These are the moments of discovery that travelers never forget. A ruined chapel cloaked in ivy, a glen with no name, a village where the past still whispers through the stone. In the Highlands, wanderers who venture off the beaten path find Glen Affric, often called the most beautiful glen in Scotland. Ancient pines, glassy lochs, and distant peaks create a scene that feels untouched by time. When the light shifts and the mist rolls across the water, it's easy to believe you've stepped into an old Celtic legend. To the south, Kouros, a perfectly preserved 17th-century village on the Firth of Forth, seems frozen in amber. Cobbled streets, ochre houses, and the scent of sea air carry you back to another era. It's no wonder filmmakers often use it to recreate historic Scotland. On the Isle of Skye, tucked away from the crowds, lies the Fairy Glen, a landscape of miniature hills and spirals of stone, shaped by nature but touched by myth. Children and dreamers alike swear it feels enchanted, especially in the golden glow of early evening. Further north, in Sutherland, you'll find Sandwood Bay, one of the most remote beaches in the UK, reachable only by an 8-kilometre walk through wild moorland. Its pink sands and towering sea stack reward every step with serenity that feels almost sacred. For something man-made yet equally magical, visit the Kilmartin Glen, where over 350 ancient monuments, standing stones, burial cairns, and carved rocks, stretch across a single valley. It's one of Europe's richest prehistoric landscapes, and few travelers ever see it. Even Scotland's cities hide secrets. Dean Village in Edinburgh, a tranquil haven just minutes from Princes Street, or the Necropolis in Glasgow, a Victorian garden cemetery that feels like a sculpted city of the departed. These hidden gems remind you that Scotland's beauty isn't just found in guidebooks, it's in the quiet corners, waiting for those who linger a little longer and listen a little closer. Adventure and activities. Scotland was made for adventure. Its vast mountains, deep lochs, and wild coasts invite explorers to step beyond the familiar and feel alive in nature's embrace. Whether you crave adrenaline or quiet discovery, every glen, island, and forest offers an adventure waiting to be lived. For hikers, Scotland is paradise. The Munros, mountains over 3,000 feet, challenge walkers to bag their peaks, a pursuit that blends endurance with joy. Climb Ben Nevis, Britain's highest mountain, and watch clouds drift below your feet, or wander through the quieter trails of Glen Coe, where the silence feels sacred. In the Cairngorms, vast plateaus stretch toward distant horizons, while deer move like shadows between the pines. Those who love water will find endless ways to play. The lochs and rivers are perfect for kayaking, canoeing, and wild swimming, their mirrored surfaces reflecting the sky. Brave souls plunge into Loch Morlich or the fairy pools of Skye, where icy waters awaken every sense. The coastline, too, calls to adventurers, from surfing at Thurso to sea kayaking around the Isle of Mull. For cyclists, the North Coast 500 is Scotland's answer to Route 66, a journey through rugged highlands, remote beaches, and mountain passes that make every mile unforgettable. Off-road trails in Fort William and the Borders challenge mountain bikers with world-class tracks and breathtaking backdrops. In winter, the country transforms again. The Cairngorms and Nevis Range become snowy playgrounds for skiing and snowboarding, while climbers tackle icy ridges and frozen waterfalls. When the sun sets, you might even glimpse the northern lights, dancing above still lochs and sleeping hills. But not every adventure demands daring, some are simply moments of peace. A sunrise walk on a deserted beach, a sail across a mirror-still loch, or an evening under the stars in the wilds of Assynt can feel as exhilarating as any climb. In Scotland, adventure isn't about distance or danger, it's about connection. To the land, the sky, and the spirit that has always called people northward to explore. Cultural experiences. To truly know Scotland is to feel its rhythm, in its music, its stories, its traditions, and the way its people share them. This is a country where culture isn't confined to museums or theaters. It lives in the streets, in the songs, in every heartfelt welcome and shared dram by the fire. Few experiences capture Scotland's spirit quite like a ceilidh, a traditional gathering of music, dancing, and laughter. In village halls and city bars alike, fiddles, accordions, and bagpipes strike up familiar tunes, and strangers become friends within minutes. The steps are simple, the joy universal, and the energy infectious. In Edinburgh, culture takes to the world stage each August during the Fringe Festival, where every corner of the city becomes a theatre. From comedy to street performance, it's a celebration of imagination that turns Scotland's capital into a carnival of creativity. Nearby, the Edinburgh International Festival showcases the finest in classical music, dance, and art, a reminder that this small country has an outsized cultural heartbeat. For those drawn to heritage, the Highland Games bring ancient customs to life. Tossing the caber, piping contests, and clan parades all celebrate Scottish strength and pride, set against a backdrop of tartan and cheering crowds. In contrast, smaller local festivals, from Shetland's Uphelliaa to Burns night suppers, honor history with fire, poetry, and feasts that carry centuries of meaning. Museums and galleries across the nation, from Glasgow's Kelvingrove to Edinburgh's National Museum of Scotland, tell stories of invention, art, and identity. But perhaps the most authentic cultural experiences are those stumbled upon by chance, a folk session in a rural pub, a storyteller weaving legends beside a peat fire, or the sight of a lone piper playing to the setting sun on a cliff above the sea. In Scotland, culture isn't performed, it's lived. Every song, every story, every shared smile is part of a legacy that continues to grow, one moment at a time. Bucket list highlights. Every traveler leaves Scotland changed, by its landscapes, its people, and the quiet magic that lingers long after you've gone. Whether you seek wild adventure, timeless beauty, or soulful stillness, Scotland's bucket list moments promise memories that last a lifetime. Begin with the Isle of Skye, where jagged peaks, cascading waterfalls, and dramatic coastlines make the island feel like a world unto itself. Hike through the Quiraing, a landscape of twisted rock formations sculpted by ancient landslides, or stand before the Old Man of Storr, watching the sunrise turn the mist gold. It's a place that feels not of earth, but of legend. No journey to Scotland is complete without standing atop Ben Nevis, Britain's highest mountain. On a clear day, you can see the world unfold below, the lochs glinting like mirrors, the glens stretching endlessly into blue haze. For those seeking gentler beauty, a cruise across Loch Ness offers mystery and myth in equal measure. You may not spot Nessie, but you'll feel the enchantment of one of the most famous lochs on earth. In Edinburgh, climb Arthur's Seat for panoramic views of the city, a volcano-turned vantage point, where history and horizon meet. Then wander the Royal Mile, explore Edinburgh Castle, and join the crowds at the Fringe Festival, where creativity lights up the capital each summer. For pure wonder, take the West Highland Line, one of the world's most scenic train journeys, crossing the Glenfinnan Viaduct, immortalized by the Harry Potter films. The view of lochs, moors, and mountains rolling past your window feels like traveling through a dream. Head north to Orkney for ancient magic, from the Neolithic village of Skara Brae to the Ring of Brodja, where stones older than Stonehenge stand in silent grace. Then visit the Isle of Harris for beaches so white and seas so blue, they redefine beauty itself. And finally, no Scottish adventure ends without a dram. Sit by a crackling fire, glass in hand, and toast to the land that gives whiskey its heart, whether at a distillery in Speyside, Islay, or the Highlands. Scotland's bucket list isn't just about places, it's about moments that make you pause, breathe, and feel profoundly alive. Museums and galleries. Scotland's history doesn't live only in the land, it's carefully preserved, celebrated, and shared through its museums and galleries. From grand national institutions to intimate local collections, these spaces tell the story of a nation that has always valued creativity, curiosity, and connection to its past. In Edinburgh, the National Museum of Scotland is a masterpiece of culture and imagination. Its soaring glass galleries house everything from ancient Egyptian relics to Scottish inventions that changed the world. One moment you're gazing at medieval armor or a Pictish stone, and the next, you're marveling at Dolly the sheep, the world's first cloned mammal, a reminder that Scotland's genius reaches from past to future. Nearby, the Scottish National Gallery brings together centuries of art beneath the shadow of Edinburgh Castle. Its walls glow with masterpieces by Turner, Titian, and Raeburn, the latter capturing the faces of Enlightenment-era Scotland with warmth and dignity. Just up the hill, the Scottish National Portrait Gallery celebrates the country's most influential figures, kings, poets, rebels, and thinkers whose vision still shapes the nation. Over in Glasgow, art beats at the city's very heart. The Kelvingrove Art Gallery and Museum, with its red sandstone grandeur and lively exhibits, is both welcoming and world-class. Inside, you'll find works by Daly and Mackintosh, natural history displays, and musical performances that bring the building to life. The Gallery of Modern Art, GOMA, meanwhile, pulses with contemporary energy, a bold celebration of modern creativity set within a neoclassical landmark. Beyond the cities, Scotland's smaller museums tell local stories with intimate charm. The Highland Folk Museum in Newtonmore recreates centuries of rural life, complete with crafts, tools, and traditions, while the Orkney Museum in Kirkwall explores the island's Viking and Neolithic past. On the western coast, the Skye Museum of Island Life offers a window into the hardships and hopes of crofting families who braved the Atlantic winds. Every museum in Scotland feels personal, a gathering of memories lovingly preserved. Whether you're standing before a prehistoric carving or a modern masterpiece, you'll sense the same spirit, a nation proud of where it's been, and unafraid of where it's going. UNESCO Heritage Sites. Scotland's story has been carved into stone, built into cities, and woven into the landscape for thousands of years. Its UNESCO World Heritage Sites stand as living monuments to creativity, craftsmanship, and continuity, reminders that this small nation has always reached far beyond its borders in influence and imagination. Begin in Edinburgh, where two worlds coexist in harmony. The old and new towns together form a masterpiece of urban design, the medieval maze of the old town spilling down from the castle like history itself, while the Georgian order of the new town reflects the Enlightenment ideals of balance and reason. Wander between them and you'll feel time folding in on itself, the past and present speaking in one voice. Far to the north, the heart of Neolithic Orkney transports you back over 5,000 years. Here, Skara Brae, Maeshowe, the Ring of Brodja, and the standing stones of Stennis stand in astonishing preservation. They speak of a prehistoric civilization that built with vision and purpose, homes, tombs, and ceremonial sites aligned with the stars and seasons. Few places on earth feel so ancient, or so alive. In the west, the Antonine Wall marks the northern frontier of the Roman Empire, a 37-mile line of fortifications stretching from the Firth of Forth to the Firth of Clyde. Though only traces remain, its presence is powerful, a reminder of when Scotland was known to the Romans as Caledonia, a land too fierce to be tamed. On the coast, the Forth Bridge stands as a monument to Victorian innovation and industrial prowess. Opened in 1890, its mighty red steel spans are both functional and poetic, a masterpiece of engineering that still carries trains across the Firth of Forth today. To stand beneath it is to feel the pride of an age when Scotland helped shape the modern world. And on the Western Isles, the Street Kilda archipelago whispers of endurance and isolation. Once home to a hardy community who survived for centuries on the edge of the Atlantic, it now lies uninhabited, a sanctuary for seabirds and a haunting testament to human resilience in the face of nature's power. Each site is a window into Scotland's soul, a fusion of past and present, intellect and instinct, human hands and eternal landscape. Practical information. Money and currency. In Scotland, even money tells a story. The designs on its banknotes, castles, inventors, poets, and bridges reflect a nation that values both its history and its ingenuity. While Scotland shares the same currency as the rest of the United Kingdom, it proudly prints its own money, giving each note a distinctly Scottish soul. The official currency is the pound sterling, but unlike England, Scotland's banks issue their own notes. The three main issuers, the Bank of Scotland, the Royal Bank of Scotland, and the Clydesdale Bank, each feature unique designs. You might find Robert Burns smiling up at you from a tenner, or the Forth Bridge stretching across a £20 note. Though these are perfectly legal throughout the UK, they're a cherished symbol of national identity north of the border. Coins are the same as those used elsewhere in Britain, pence and pounds in familiar shapes and sizes, and debit and credit cards are widely accepted, even in remote areas. Contactless payment is the norm in cities, cafes, and transport systems, though carrying a little cash is wise for small shops or island ferries where digital connections can be unreliable. Tipping customs are relaxed but appreciated. In restaurants, 10 to 15% is standard if service isn't included. In taxis or cafes, rounding up the bill is perfectly polite. And while haggling isn't part of Scottish culture, friendly conversation often is. A smile and a thank you mean far more than a bargain. Scotland also embraces modern convenience. ATMs are plentiful, currency exchange is simple, and mobile payment systems like Apple Pay and Google Pay work almost everywhere. For travelers, it's a place where practicality meets charm, where even a simple purchase can remind you that this small nation has always found its own way of doing things. Transport and getting around. Getting around Scotland is part of the adventure. Every journey offers a glimpse of the country's wild beauty, from misty glens and sparkling lochs to bustling cities and windswept isles. Whether you travel by road, rail, or ferry, Scotland rewards every mile with scenery that feels alive. The country's compact size makes it easy to explore, yet its landscapes vary dramatically. Trains are one of the most scenic and relaxing ways to travel. Routes like the West Highland Line, from Glasgow to Mallaig, or the Kyle Line, to the Isle of Skye, are world famous for their breathtaking views. The Caledonian Sleeper even lets you fall asleep in London and wake up among Highland mountains, a journey as romantic as it is practical. For those who prefer the open road, driving allows for complete freedom. Scotland's roads wind through unforgettable scenery, from the dramatic Glencoe Pass to the rugged beauty of the North Coast 500, a 516-mile route around the Northern Highlands that's become a bucket list experience for road trippers. Car hire is straightforward, but travelers should note that Scots drive on the left-hand side of the road, and rural routes can be narrow or winding. In the cities, getting around is simple. Edinburgh and Glasgow boast excellent bus networks, while taxis, ride shares, and trams in Edinburgh offer easy alternatives. Walking remains one of the best ways to experience the charm of Scotland's urban centres, where every turn reveals cobbled lanes, hidden courtyards, and centuries of history. For island hoppers, Caledonian Macbrain, Calmac, ferries connect the mainland to dozens of islands, from Arran and Mull to the Outer Hebrides. Flights also link remote communities, with small planes offering unforgettable views over turquoise seas and patchwork landscapes. Cycling enthusiasts will find a growing network of long-distance routes, including stretches of the National Cycle Network and scenic coastal paths, while hikers can rely on local buses and trains to reach many trailheads. However you choose to travel, the real magic of Scotland lies not just in the destination, but in the journey, in pausing beside a loch at sunset, waiting for sheep to cross a one-lane road, or watching a train curve along the edge of the sea. Visas and entry requirements. Scotland welcomes travelers with open arms, whether you're here to explore ancient castles, hike the Highlands, or simply soak in the warmth of its people. As part of the United Kingdom, Scotland follows the UK's visa and entry rules, but the process is straightforward for most visitors. For travelers from the European Union, EEA, Switzerland, the United States, Canada, Australia, and many other countries, visits of up to 6 months typically do not require a visa. All you need is a valid passport, a smile, and a sense of adventure. When you arrive, UK border officials may ask about your travel plans, proof of accommodation, and return ticket, simple formalities to ensure a smooth arrival. If you're visiting from a country that does require a visa, applications can be made online through the UK government visa and immigration website. There are several types of visas, but for tourism, the standard visitor visa is most common. It allows travelers to explore Scotland, and the rest of the UK, for up to 6 months, including visits to family, business meetings, or short studies. For longer stays, such as work or study, you'll need to apply for the appropriate visa before traveling. Scotland's universities, among the best in the world, often assist international students with this process. Upon entry, passports should be valid for the duration of your stay, though it's best to have at least 6 months remaining before expiry. Keep your travel insurance details and booking confirmations handy. They're rarely needed, but always reassuring to have. If you plan to travel onward to other parts of the UK, or to Ireland, note that border-free movement applies within the common travel area, meaning there are usually no internal border checks. Whether you arrive by air into Edinburgh, Glasgow, or Inverness, or cross the border by train from England, you'll find the welcome the same, warm, genuine, and proud. Scotland has always been a land that opens its doors to those with curiosity and respect. Safety and health. Traveling in Scotland feels both thrilling and reassuring, a country of wild landscapes and kind hearts, where adventure meets peace of mind. It's one of the safest destinations in Europe, with low crime rates, clean environments, and a culture built on courtesy and community. Cities like Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Inverness are lively yet welcoming. Petty crime, such as pickpocketing, is rare but possible in busy tourist areas. Simple awareness and common sense go a long way. Scots are famously helpful, and if you ever need assistance, locals are quick to lend a hand or point you in the right direction. In the countryside, safety takes a different shape. The Highlands and Islands offer breathtaking wilderness, but they also demand respect. Weather in Scotland can change in moments, blue skies giving way to mist or rain without warning. If hiking, climbing, or exploring remote areas, always check forecasts, carry waterproof clothing, and let someone know your route. Mobile signal can be limited in some regions, so offline maps or a GPS device are wise companions. For medical care, Scotland is served by the National Health Service, NHS, one of the best public healthcare systems in the world. Emergency treatment is free for everyone, including visitors, and pharmacies are easily found even in smaller towns. For non-urgent care, travel insurance is recommended to cover any private costs or special assistance. Tap water is safe to drink across the country. In fact, Scotland's water is some of the cleanest and freshest in Europe, often sourced directly from mountain springs. Food standards are excellent, and restaurants maintain high hygiene ratings, making dining both safe and delightful. Wildlife encounters are generally safe, too. The most you're likely to meet are deer, seals, or curious Highland cows. If exploring coastal or mountain regions, stay aware of tides, terrain, and changing conditions. Nature here is beautiful, but it rewards those who travel wisely. Overall, Scotland offers a perfect balance, the thrill of discovery, grounded in safety and care. It's a place where you can explore freely, knowing you're well looked after. Communication. Connecting in Scotland is easy, not just through technology, but through conversation. Scots are among the friendliest people you'll meet, and a warm chat is never far away. Whether you're asking for directions in a village shop or sharing a laugh in a city cafe, communication here is as much about kindness as it is about words. The official language is English, spoken everywhere, but with regional accents that carry the melody of the land. From the soft lilt of the Highlands to the quick wit of Glasgow, every corner of Scotland has its own musical rhythm. Don't be surprised if you hear Scots, a dialect rich in character and expression, or even Scottish Gaelic, particularly in the Western Isles and Highlands. Gaelic signs are common, and hearing it spoken is like listening to history itself. Mobile coverage is strong in most towns and cities, and even many rural areas are well connected. However, in the remote Highlands, islands, or deep glens, reception can fade, a reminder that some parts of Scotland still belong to nature more than signal towers. Most hotels, cafes, and visitor centers offer free Wi-Fi, and speeds are generally good in urban areas. International travelers will find communication straightforward. UK phone networks are compatible with most European and global providers, and prepaid SIM cards are easily available at airports and shops. For calls within Scotland or the wider UK, simply dial the local area code followed by the number. For international calls, use +44 and drop the leading 0. But beyond phones and Wi-Fi, Scotland's true connection lies in its people. A simple hello often turns into a conversation, and strangers can become guides, storytellers, or friends in an instant. Scots value sincerity. A polite thank you, cheers, or even aye goes a long way. Communication here isn't just about words, it's about warmth. You may arrive a visitor, but you'll leave feeling part of the conversation. Local laws and customs. Scotland's laws and customs reflect its character, fair, respectful, and grounded in community. It's a country that values kindness, honesty, and a good sense of humor. For visitors, understanding a few basics makes it easy to fit right in and enjoy the Scottish way of life. First and foremost, respect is the foundation of Scottish manners. People are friendly, approachable, and polite, but also value personal space and modesty. A smile, a please, and a thank you go a long way. If you make a mistake, a quick apology is always met with good grace. Scots are forgiving and often quick with a laugh to ease the moment. Public behavior is relaxed but considerate. Loud or disruptive conduct, especially in quiet rural areas or on public transport, is frowned upon. Drinking alcohol in moderation is part of social life, whether in a pub, at a ceilidh, or at home. But public drinking, in the street or parks, is restricted in some cities, including Edinburgh and Glasgow, so check local signs. The legal drinking age is 18, and most venues require ID for younger visitors. Scotland's relationship with its environment is deeply respectful. The right to roam law allows people to walk, cycle, and camp responsibly on most land, but visitors must follow the Scottish Outdoor Access Code, respect privacy, protect nature, and leave no trace. Fires should be kept small and controlled, and wild camping avoided near homes or farmland. When driving, seat belts are compulsory, and mobile phone use while driving is strictly prohibited. Speed limits are clearly marked, and rural roads can be narrow. Patience and courtesy are essential. Always yield to pedestrians on single-track roads and offer a friendly wave to say thanks. Tipping customs are simple, around 10 to 15% in restaurants if not already included, and rounding up fares or leaving a small extra in pubs and cafes is appreciated. Scotland's laws protect everyone equally, and discrimination based on race, gender, sexuality, or religion is not tolerated. In general, this is a nation that prizes fairness and friendliness, so long as those values are returned. And perhaps the most important unwritten rule? Don't mistake Scotland for England. While both share a kingdom, Scots are proudly distinct, and will gladly tell you why, usually over a dram of whiskey and a good laugh. Time, power, and connectivity. In Scotland, time seems to move at its own pace, part of its charm. Days stretch longer in summer, with golden light lingering past 10 at night, while winter evenings invite cozy fires and slow conversations. Yet behind this timeless feeling lies a modern, well-connected country where staying in touch and keeping powered up is easy. Scotland follows Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, in winter and British Summer Time, BST, 1 hour ahead, from late March to late October. The long summer days are magical, especially in the north, where twilight can last past midnight. In contrast, winter brings shorter daylight hours, perfect for stargazing or chasing the northern lights. For travelers, electricity runs on the United Kingdom's standard 230 volts and uses the Type G 3-pin plug. Adapters are widely available, and most hotels and airports sell them if you forget yours. Power is stable and reliable, even in rural areas, so your devices will stay charged whether you're in a city apartment or a remote Highland lodge. When it comes to digital connection, Scotland keeps pace with the world. Wi-Fi is freely available in hotels, cafes, libraries, and visitor centres, and cities like Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Dundee offer extensive public hotspots. Mobile coverage is strong across most of the country, though signal can dip in the far Highlands and Islands, often a welcome invitation to unplug and simply enjoy the silence of nature. If you need to stay connected, local SIM cards from UK providers like EE, O2, Vodafone, and 3 offer affordable data and good coverage. International roaming works smoothly for most networks, especially for visitors from Europe, North America, and Australasia. For travelers balancing work and wanderlust, Scotland is also an ideal remote working destination. With good transport links, modern infrastructure, and breathtaking scenery, many find that productivity comes naturally when the view outside the window is a mountain or a loch. Whether you're gazing at the midnight sun over the Hebrides or sending an email from a cafe in Edinburgh, you'll find Scotland blends ancient stillness with modern connection, the best of both worlds. Accommodation options. No matter where your Scottish journey takes you, from city streets to mountain glens or island shores, you'll find a place to stay that feels like home. Scotland's hospitality runs deep, and its accommodation options reflect the country's character: warm, diverse, and often touched with a hint of history. In Edinburgh and Glasgow, elegant hotels blend old-world charm with modern comfort. Grand Victorian townhouses have been transformed into boutique hotels, where high ceilings and tartan throws meet contemporary design. For those seeking something timeless, heritage properties such as the Balmoral or Gleneagles offer world-class luxury with unmistakably Scottish soul, whiskey lounges, roaring fires, and impeccable service wrapped in tradition. For a more personal touch, bed and breakfasts, B&Bs, are a Scottish classic. Found everywhere from seaside villages to Highland hamlets, they're often family-run and filled with warmth. Guests wake to the smell of a full Scottish breakfast: eggs, bacon, sausage, tat-tie scones, and maybe a slice of black pudding, served with conversation as hearty as the meal itself. Travelers on a budget will find excellent guest houses, hostels, and self-catering cottages across the country. Scotland's youth hostels, many run by Hosteling Scotland, offer clean, scenic stays in places you might never expect to spend the night: a converted castle, a lochside lodge, or even a former farmhouse on a remote island. For nature lovers, camping and glamping bring you even closer to the land. Wild camping is permitted under Scotland's right to roam law, with respect for nature and privacy, while organized campsites and luxury glamping pods provide comfort under the stars. Imagine waking to the sound of a mountain stream or watching the northern lights from your tent flap, simple pleasures that linger for life. Unique stays add another layer to the experience: historic castle hotels, converted churches, eco-lodges, and remote bothies, stone shelters scattered through the Highlands that offer free, rustic refuge for hikers. Each night's stay feels like a story waiting to be told. Whatever your budget or travel style, Scotland's accommodations share one thing: a sense of welcome. Here, a bed is never just a place to rest, it's an invitation to belong. Food and water safety. In Scotland, you can eat and drink with confidence and delight. The country's food standards are among the highest in Europe, its water is famously pure, and the passion for good produce runs deep. From coastal seafood to Highland beef, dining in Scotland isn't just safe, it's one of the great pleasures of travel here. Tap water throughout Scotland is completely safe to drink. In fact, it's often celebrated for its quality, flowing fresh from mountain reservoirs and natural springs. Many visitors comment on how clean and refreshing it tastes, especially in rural areas where the source is practically at your doorstep. Bottled water is widely available, but filling up your own bottle is both safe and environmentally friendly. Food hygiene is taken seriously across the country. Restaurants, cafes, and even small takeaways display official food hygiene ratings, making it easy to see where high standards are met, which, in Scotland, is almost everywhere. Ingredients are proudly local: salmon from Shetland, mussels from the west coast, venison from the Highlands, and raspberries from Perthshire fields. Seafood lovers can indulge without worry. Scottish shellfish and fish are carefully regulated and fresh from the surrounding waters. Farmers' markets and local producers follow strict safety measures, and seasonal dishes are crafted with care and authenticity. Even street food stalls and festival vendors operate under strict public health guidelines, so you can enjoy your haggis burger or fish supper with peace of mind. When dining in the countryside or smaller towns, it's wise to book ahead during peak seasons, as many restaurants are family-run and operate limited hours. For those with allergies or dietary preferences, most places cater to gluten-free, vegetarian, and vegan diets, and menus are clearly labeled. If you're cooking for yourself, supermarkets like Tesco, Co-op, and Sainsbury's provide a wide range of fresh, safe produce. Tap water can be used freely for cooking, drinking, and brushing teeth, even in remote areas. In short, Scotland feeds you well, body and soul. The flavors are real, the food is safe, and every meal tells a story of the land it comes from. Useful apps and resources. Exploring Scotland is easier than ever thanks to a handful of helpful apps and resources that connect you with the country's landscapes, culture, and people. Whether you're navigating winding Highland roads, hunting for hidden cafes, or tracking the weather across the Glens, a few digital tools can make your journey smoother, without stealing the magic of discovery. Start with the essentials. Visit Scotland's official website and app are packed with inspiration, from must-see landmarks to local secrets. It's your go-to digital guide for routes, accommodation, and up-to-date events across every region. Getting around is made simple with transport apps like ScotRail, which provides real-time train updates, ticket booking, and platform information. If you're driving, Google Maps and Waze work well across the country, while the Calmac Ferries app is invaluable for checking ferry schedules to the islands. For city travelers, Lothian Buses, Edinburgh, and First Bus, Glasgow, apps help you navigate local routes with ease. Weather in Scotland can change by the hour, so Met Office and BBC weather apps are essential for planning outdoor adventures. Hikers and nature lovers will appreciate OS Maps or All Trails, offering detailed offline maps of trails, mountains, and lochs, a must when exploring remote areas where signal fades. If you're seeking culture and connection, apps like Historic Environment Scotland reveal nearby castles and ruins, while Undiscovered Scotland and Hidden Scotland offer stunning photography and travel inspiration. Whiskey fans can use Scotch whisky distilleries or Malt Map to find tastings and tours across the country. For communication, Google Translate helps with Scots or Gaelic phrases, though most locals are delighted to explain them in person. And for sharing memories, Instagram and Polar Steps capture your journey beautifully, because Scotland was made to be remembered. Together, these tools bridge old and new, helping you wander wisely while still leaving space for wonder. Final inspiration. There's a moment in every journey through Scotland when time seems to stop. Perhaps it's standing on a cliff above a restless sea, or watching morning mist rise over a Highland loch. Maybe it's the sound of a fiddle echoing through a village square, or the warmth of laughter shared with strangers who feel like friends. Whatever form it takes, that moment stays with you, long after you've left, long after the rain and the heather have faded from your shoes. Scotland is a land that moves you quietly, deeply. Its beauty is not just in the grand gestures, the mountains, castles, and glens, but in the small, human details. A smile in a pub, the smell of peat smoke, the way light falls across an old stone wall. It's a country that invites you not just to see, but to feel. Each journey here is personal. For some, it's an adventure through wild places and ancient paths. For others, it's a search for roots, stories, or peace. Whatever draws you to Scotland, it gives back more than you expect, a sense of belonging, a touch of calm, and the comforting idea that the world still holds magic. You may come for the castles, the whiskey, or the legends, but you'll leave remembering something simpler, the way this place makes you feel alive. And that's the secret of Scotland. It isn't a destination to tick off a list, it's a place that lingers, in your memory, in your heart, and in the quiet corners of your imagination. So take your time. Wander slowly. Let the mist roll in, and the wind tell its stories. Because Scotland isn't somewhere you just visit, it's somewhere you carry with you. Thank you for wandering with Apex Atlas. If you found peace here, we invite you to return for our next journey. Please give a like and subscribe. But for now, simply breathe and rest. See you next time.